Hello and welcome to another video with me, Johannes. I'm going to take a quick break from the moving, and I wanted to share something with you, rather interesting, I thought anyway. Now, if you have watched any of my other things, you probably will have noticed I'm getting quite creative and having lots of different angles on a particular aspect of learning. And today I think will be no different. So on your hold, pack your suit bags. We are going down the memory lane. In fact, we're going to go all the way down to the cave ages. What we're going to do there is we're going to have a look at how we started building words. And I'm going to make a real life example possibly of what occurred. So we've got these three people, me, myself, perhaps you, and we have a couple other cave people, caveman, and we pick up an item and we use it and we play with it and we say, wow, that's a stone, yeah, everybody agrees, excellent. And as we progress through the years, we find many more examples of stone. Now, and there will eventually an argument break out. An argument about what is a stone and was not. Well, that's a pebble and that's a boulder. But we will have that argument, is it still a stone or is it not? And at this point in time, a quantum leap in education or in learning occurred that I would think is far surpasses the invention of the wheel. It's that important. Let me show you. And it's called definition. So, definition, what is he on about? Well, here we go. When we had all the stones, we had many examples of the stones. But when you look at the definition of a word, you don't look at another example of a stone. Instead, what you actually look at is the blueprint, the criteria, the principle, the truth. If you have certain laws like gravity, there's a whole truth behind this. This isn't just a definition. This isn't just a labeling or naming process. We have here the essence of a word. Now in stone, we actually have what all the criteria, what all stones have in common. We have that described in its definition. But there's no stone itself as an example in there. And that's quite revolutionary, because what we have done is all these definitions are condensed data of anything, any example of that type. And you can see suddenly that your understanding of what a definition, it isn't just another a word, it's not just a naming or explanation. It is really actually a formula, a pattern that really opens the door to creativity. It is, let me give you an example here, fruit. Take for example fruit. Now if you memorized 20 or 30 different fruit, then you could tell pretty much what is a fruit and what is not a fruit, simply on the fact that you've got probably most fruit covered that anybody can think of. I couldn't come up with 30. So, but if you had the definition of fruit and you only ever had eaten one apple, for example, you would still with the definition have the formula. And you could work out whenever a fruit is a fruit, even though you never had it before. You can chop it apart, you can have a look, it has seeds in there, good, it's a fruit. So do you see that that formula opens the door to creativity? You can create new fruits, you can create words, and you can put together an item, and by definition it's fruit. And at the same time, this quantum leap opened the door to creative thinking. We're not talking about a compartment your thoughts. We don't talk about having furniture in our head. We're translating that. But unless we know the definition of compartment, unless we know the definition of box, what we get is this. People visualize a box in their head and they drop it in. And that is only an image, a memorized image. That's not the formula. That's not the definition of compartment or box. So there is a complete different aspect, and you will find very creative people are able to do that. And this is here actually what really opens the door to problem solving, etc. Now, I've had enough of a break. I can tell everybody wants me to go back to work. So I'm going to end off here. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm totally excited about that. So I'm just calming myself down and looking forward to hearing your comments, and speak to you later. Bye.